So let's hope tonight is more successful than last week. All right, we're going to start again. We're going to work on mastering the fundamentals, stance, grip, and position. All you should need is a broomstick or a mop handle or whatever it is you have. We're going to spend some time warming up and getting loose, and then we're going to just jump into, we're going to do a quick capacity test, and then we're going to move into the tech drills. Yeah? So everybody's ready. Let's start with 20 jumping jacks. Slow down a bit, Bun. We don't want to be rushing today. Okay. All right. Good. We're going to try that again. And this time, I want you to leave your arms as straight as you can so that the warm up is in your shoulder and not your elbows. Yeah. So try to keep your arms straight as you go from slapping your legs to all the way up and overhead. Nice and easy pace. Let's go. Ah, that's better. Excellent. All right. We're going to start warming the hips up, and we're going to pull the knee into the chest and pull it towards us 10 times on each side. Take your time to really pull that knee in a little closer each time. Pull your belly button back towards your spine so that your upper body stays nice and tight, and all the movement is through the hips and the knees. Excellent. All right. We're going to move into some lunging. Again, we're going to look at 20, 10 on each side. But this time, when we lunge, we're going to come up with the arms and reach up and overhead nice and tall. And then come back up to the top. And the next leg is done with a big lunge and a big reach. Good. And up. All right. Excellent. Neil, I've got a whole lot of ceiling on you. Can you tilt your camera down a little bit? Yeah. Well, I can see your shoulders and up. That's enough. If you can't get it any lower, that's fine. Otherwise, it gives me a chance to see if your hips and knees are moving the way we want. Yeah, I know. I'm being a pain. There we go. Oh, goodness. All right. Excellent. All right. Now we're going to get down onto our hands and knees. And we're looking at thoracic extension and flexion. So we're going to do some cat-cow. So arching your back up like a scared cat. Take a big deep breath in, and then you're going to exhale out. Extend that back, reach the neck up, and the other direction. Back up into that scared cat or flexion, and then back down. And you're going to do that 10 times each. Really take the time here on that breath to pull that belly button back to the spine nice and tight. And then as you go down into the extension, think about pressing that belly out and breathing out against your stomach while still holding it tight. A little faster. Can you get back up into it? All right, from there, we're going to take the legs, your right leg, and we're going to do some hip circles. So you're going to push your right knee out to the side, lifting it up like a dog trying to pee. You're going to lift it up as high as you can, reach around behind you, push your knee back out straight, and then come back in straight and underneath. Do that 5 times on each side. Try to get the biggest circle, make the biggest circle you can with that hip. Again, keep that belly button back nice and tight toward the spine. Lock those shoulders in. The only thing that should be moving is that hip. Good. Once we get 5 on each side, we're going to go into some bird dogs. So back onto the hands and knees. Your right leg is going to reach out behind you, stretching out nice and long, and your left arm is going to come up forward, pressing out. Get as long as you can between the two. Stretch that leg straight out, not up. There we go. And switch. And switch. And switch. 10 each side. All right, sweet. Up onto your feet. We're going to do 10 inchworm press-ups. You're going to bend down for a nice big stretch through the back of the legs. Walk your hands out. As you press up, I want you to push up through the shoulder blades. Find that nice rounded archer's push up. So you get that good stretch through the shoulder blades, and then walk it back up for 10. See, this is tricky. Some of you are right next to a fire. You don't need as much time to warm up. But for those people in the cold garage, we're going to go a little longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So from there, we're going to pick up our broomsticks or our poles, whatever it is you have today. I really have a lot of respect for those of you that are using actual brooms. That's awesome. We're going to do some pass-throughs. So pushing that bar away from you, actively using the shoulders to make as big a circle as you can. Start slow, moving through that range of motion. We're going to do 5 pass-throughs. Then if that's feeling good and you're comfortable with it, I want you to bring your hands in a little bit and do another 5. Still keeping active shoulders, pushing that bar away from you. Don't let it slip as you're going back behind the back. Keep it active and in control. If you need to keep the wide grip, then keep the wide grip. All right, we're going to throw in some around the worlds. So keeping one arm stretched out and down by the side of the hip, you're going to extend with the other arm to reach up and around. Then you switch. The other hand stays solid by the... What happened to your phone? The camera just went off. Yeah. Okay. Nice shot of your knee there. Yeah. It's freezing for some reason. All right. Now we're going to move into squats. So with the pull on the back of your neck, we're just going to do 20 bodyweight squats. So belly button back toward the spine, pushing the hips back. We're going to slowly work up to where those hips are coming down below the knees. Yeah, your phone is totally freezing. I don't know why. There it is. Now it's working. Okay. Nope, now it's off. Yeah, no, oh, okay. Yeah. All right, everybody's moving pretty well, and with the exception of Izzy, poor Izzy, the only one in a cold garage. Everyone looks pretty warm. So we're going to move ahead to the L-sit press. So for those of you that did make it in to last week or that could hear what we were talking about, there are some different capacity tests that we look at when we're looking at weightlifting and pressing, and we want to start with body weight. So I want you to find a place where you can sit with your legs stretched out in front of you. Pulling that belly button back toward the spine and reaching up to be as tall as you can from your sits bone all the way up to the top of your head. We're going to take the pole and come into our front rack position. This is going to be tricky for some of you. Do the best that you can. It can help to take a slightly wider grip on the bar to get your elbows up higher. From this position, I want you to just press up and overhead and work to bring your head between your arms so that your ears are poking out in front of your shoulders. Nice, Sophie. Excellent. It just happens to be a good angle. Not that anyone else isn't doing well, but I can see her ears clearly. Ah, Rich, I can see yours too. Good, good. Awesome. All right, everybody looks like they're managing this, so take a deep breath and reset. And we are going to go for 20 seconds, doing them as tightly and neatly as possible, but not stopping. So starting now, press. Stay tight, stay tall. Keep stretching out that spine from the sits bones all the way up to the top of the head. Good. Ooh, I'm seeing so many shoes. And rest. We're going to take a quick rest. We're going to shake it out if you need to. Roll on those sits bones. Looks like a couple of you are uncomfortable. We're going to come back up and we're going to go again for 20 seconds. Back up into position and go. Active pressing, so bring it back down to the shoulders and press back up overhead. There we go. Good, and rest. All right, so we're going to do one more set of these, and this time I want you to aim for somewhere between 15 and 20 in that 20 seconds. So we're looking to move efficiently, but also with good, solid movement patterns, yeah? If you can, bring that pipe down to touch your shoulders before you go up and overhead, and then press fully out overhead before you come back down. All right, last set for 20 seconds and go. Nice. Good, Neil. Excellent, Sophie. Good bringing the head through. Same, Kimberly. Nice. Stay tall, Richard. And done. Excellent. All right. You guys are all looking good. Let's get up and let's get started on cleaning. We're going to clean today, or we're going to drill some cleans today. So we're going to start with the standard Bergener warm-up that we often do, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it today, and we're going to drill it more than we ever have. So be patient and remember that this kind of movement and kind of repetitive motion should be just as exhausting as weightlifting if you are doing it with the right amount of tension. So the first thing I want you to do is screw your feet into the ground. Make sure you have that nice stable base. Your legs and your thighs should be turned on and your glutes should be tight. Pulling the belly button back toward the spine, pulling the rib cage down and squeezing between the shoulder blades. And we're going to squeeze it for 5 seconds. Everything nice and tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Breathe out. That amount of tension is what we want to be holding as we're going through these drills. The one thing I want super relaxed, or two things I want super relaxed during these, is your jaw and your forearms. The only thing that should be holding this bar today is your hook grip. So make sure that your thumb is wrapped underneath the fingers on the bar. Make sure that there's enough space between your hands and your thighs that your hands aren't brushing your legs. So there should just be a little bit of space there for you to move freely. So with the hook grip firmly in place, we're going to get back into that nice tight position, screwing the feet into the ground, turning on the thighs, squeezing the bum, pulling that belly button back toward the spine and squeezing between the shoulder blades. And all we're going to do is slightly bend the knees and the hips to dip down and stand straight back up. And again, dip down and up. Leave the arms loose, but long. And bend down and up. Good. Keep that body upright, so don't let the shoulders come forward as you dip down and dip and up. Keep those shoulders up over the hips and dip and up. And dip and up. Okay, Izzy and Lucy, it looks like your shoulders are coming forward. So I want you to think about being straight up and down against a wall and those shoulders staying in contact with the wall as you dip down. So dip down and up and dip down and up. That's better, Izzy. And down and up. Good. Is all that tension still in there? If it is, you should need a break. So take a break, breathe out, loosen up. I like the mystery hand that keeps jumping in behind Kimberly. That looks pretty interesting. All right, we're going to go again. This time we're going to add a big shrug. That big shrug is really important because now you don't have any weight in your hands and you've just got an empty bar. And it's going to be harder to find the movement with just the broomstick. Izzy, I know you've got a bar, so you can kind of get more with this. But we want to still keep the arms out of it. When the arms bend, the power ends. Yeah? So keep that nice loose grip on the bar, and everything that we're doing, we're trying to move that broomstick with the hips. Yeah? So we're going to dip, drive, and shrug. And again, find that tension, turn everything on from the feet all the way up through the shoulder blades, and dip and drive. And dip and drive. And dip and drive. And dip and drive. Good. Okay. I see some shrugging with the shoulders coming forward. So now I want you to really focus on shrugging those shoulders back and up so that they come back in behind you. Yeah. We're going to go again with a dip and drive. And a dip and drive. Tense everything. Screw those feet into the ground. Pull that belly button back and dip and drive. And dip and drive. And dip and drive. Awesome. All right. So we're going to focus today on jumping hard and landing hard. Yeah? Well, actually, I shouldn't say that yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. What I want you to think about is moving intentionally. That's going to transfer into the end movements of jumping hard and landing hard. But right now, we're going to look at bringing the elbows high and up outside to keep that bar nice and close. So we're going to take our dip and drive that we had, and now we're going to add those elbows high and outside. Dip and drive, high and up in one movement so that it's not the elbows, it's the hips moving it. And go. Dip and drive. Don't pause. Dip and drive. There we go. Use the hips to move the bar. The whole point of the elbows high and outside is to keep that broomstick close to you. So don't worry about pulling it up high. Just worry about pulling it close to you. So back and up. Nice speed, Lucy. Lovely. Should be no pause at the bottom of the dip. We want to just go down and up. Get the most power out of it that you can, because all we're getting here is that power from the hip. And take a break. Shake it out if you need to put it down. Awesome. All right, we're going to get back to it. We're going to do another 10 elbows high and outside. Screw those feet into the ground. Turn those thighs on. Squeeze the bum, pull the belly button back toward the spine, and 10 elbows high and outside. Take a big breath before each one. And let that bar fall right down as soon as it hits its height. Sophie, don't hold it up there. Let it, yeah, there you go. Let it fall straight back down. Nice. All right, how are we doing? Thumbs up? Everybody all right? Everybody can hear? Excellent. All right, we're gonna now take that high drive down and finish, or sorry, the down and finish, the elbows high and outside, and we're gonna add the muscle clean for the strong, fast turnover. So we're gonna dip down, shrug, and then bring those elbows up fast and underneath that bar, keeping that bar nice and close to us. Don't let it go away from you. Keep it closer to the chest teeth, even closer than that. Now with speed. Oh, try again. There we go. So the goal on this is to get the elbows high and out, or sorry, to get the elbows turn over nice and fast. Can you keep going, Beth? Okay, bring those elbows up in front of you, Sophie, so that they come in front of the bar. Lift them up higher if you can. All right. Heath, show elbows straight down. So Sophie, see where Heath's elbows are? Okay, bring them up to where we want them to be. That's where we want them to be. Okay, so bring your elbows up a little more. Great. Yeah, that's it. Nice. That position can be tricky with no weight, as I think Neil can confess. It's coming up under his chin pretty high. It's tricky, but it's you can get into it with no weight, then you'll have no trouble getting into it with a barbell. All right, so let's take a quick break, and we're going to talk real quick about what we've done. Yeah. So the down and finish, the dip and drive, that creates speed through the middle. Everything that we're doing is about driving that barbell up with the hips. So then we put the elbows high and outside to keep the barbell close to the body. We don't want to pull the bar up. We want to drive it up with the hips. We actually want to use the arms to pull our body underneath that bar when it's reached as high as it can go. So that's what we're going to start looking at now. We're going to move from the muscle clean into what's called a tall power clean. So we want to make sure that our feet are staying where they are. Yeah. To start with, there's no leg drive in this movement. So standing nice and tall, Heath is going to pull his shoulders back and strong to finish pulling himself down underneath the bar. No, just 2 inches. So we're not going into a full squat. There we go. And again, big shoulders back, big draw. Okay, so now I want you to start at the top of a high elbow pull. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Good. And again, back up to the top of the high elbow pull. Okay. I want you to stick the receipt position. So up to the top of a high elbow pull, hold it. There we go. And stand it up. All right. So we're going to start at the top of our high elbows high and outside. So on a really lucky day, when we're cleaning 100 kilos, the bar will get this high. We're going to start here and slowly work our way down. Yeah. So we're going to start with the elbows high and outside. And from there, all we're looking to do is pull ourselves under the bar and into our receipt position. So drop. Good. Get those elbows up nice and high and reset. Come back up into your high elbows out position and drop. Good. And reset. Come up nice and strong. Make sure to stop in your receipt position and feel solid in it before you reset. And again, elbows high and outside. And drop. And reset. And again. And drop. And reset. Good. So it's a little tricky again, without weight. Pulling yourself under the bar is an awkward thing to figure out, because as soon as you start to pull, because there's no weight on it, it's going to pull up. So you have to actively think about pulling yourself under that bar. Okay. So now we're going to go a little lower. So as if the weight is heavy enough that you weren't able to clean it all the way up to under your, under your armpits. And we're just going to come to maybe the bottom of the rib cage. A little higher than that. Sternum. Let's say sternum. And from there, we're going to pull ourselves under the bar again into what would be about a half squat. So go like that. Yeah. And then reset, Heath. Back up to the sternum. Nice and tight. And drop. Okay, except I don't want your feet moving out. Your feet stay solid. Up to the sternum and drop. There we go. This is all about elbow turnover. Yeah, so keep your feet in place for now. All right, so everybody with the bars up to the bottom of your, sternum. What else is that called? Breastbone. Gosh. Whew. All right, we're going to come up nice and high. Everything's turned on nice and tight. And turn over. Good. Get those elbows, draw those elbows up. Stand it up and reset. Back up to the sternum and drive. Good. Stay in your receipt position and then stand it up. Good. Reset. Shake it out. Turn everything on nice and tight. Back up to the sternum and clean. Good. Stand it up. And again, back up to the sternum and clean. All right. All right, that's our tall power cleans. Now we're going to take it into our full clean. So just to the bottom of the rib cage is what we're going to imagine now. Yeah, we've gotten to our 150 kilo clean, or some of us dream of. From here, we're going to try to pull ourselves all the way down into the full squat and go. Okay, don't let that bar come up any higher than your rib cage. Keep it there, keep it tight, pull underneath it. And again, keep it there, no higher. Okay. Again. All right, so we don't want the bar to move, as if it's encased in a holder and it can't go any higher than it is. You're going to pull yourself underneath that broomstick now, all right? So turning everything on nice and tight. Make sure you've got that hook grip on, yeah? The hook grip should be in place where you're at in this hold position. When you drop underneath, you let go of the hook grip. Yeah, when you go into your catch receipt position, the hook grip goes away, and then you reset the hook grip as you come back down and reset. Yeah. All right. So bars up and clean. Good. Reset. I want you to stop in your landing position and hold it. Bars back up to the bottom of the rib cage, just a little lower, Rich. There we go. A little lower, Kimberly. Yeah, that's it. And clean. Excellent. Stand it up. Lovely. And reset. Turning everything on. Screwing those feet into the ground. Thighs nice and tight. Belly button back. Izzy, drop the bar just a little bit. And clean. Good. Drive those elbows up and stand it up. And again, reset. And clean. Drive those elbows up and stand it up. Lovely. All right. We're going to go back now to our clean position, our dip and drive. And we're going to go through the full range. We're going to do a dip and drive into a clean. And you don't have to pull all the way into a full squat. So with a simple high hang clean is what we call this. You're going to dip, drive, shrug, and pull under, not into a full squat. There we go. And again. All right, so we're going to dip and drive and power clean. Get set up, pull those shoulder blades back nice and tight. Turn everything on and dip and clean. Good, stand it up. And dip and clean. And stand it up. And one more time. Everything on nice and tight. Dip and clean. Ah, there we go. Good. Stand it up. All right, now we're going to go down to the hang. So pulling everything nice and tight again. The tension is the most important part. If everything else on the body is under tension, then when those hips move, the barbell moves. So pulling the shoulder blades back nice and tight, you're going to slowly lower the bar down to the top of the knee. And from there, you're going to come into what is probably about a half squat. Big clean. There we go. And stand it up. And again, under tension, lower down to the top of the knee and clean. Excellent. Make sure those hips are opening and getting tall before you drop under that bar. So standing up at the top, nice and tight, pull those shoulder blades back, belly button in, lower down to the top of the knee, and clean. Yeah, good extension. Let's see that again. Get as tall as you can. So this is where we're talking about jumping hard. Yeah, we're jumping high, not forward, just up. Nice and strong. Everything turned on, lower down to the top of the knee, and clean. Good. Anybody hit themselves in the face yet? Yeah. Good. It's tricky, but it happens. All right. Excellent. We're going to go down to mid shin now. We're just going to do a couple of these. If you are under tension for all of this movement, you should already be a little knackered. Yeah, so we'll finish up with these and then we'll move on to the jerk. So shoulder blades back nice and tight. We're going to lower down to the top of the knee. Lower down to the mid shin. Back up to the top of the knee and clean. Get tall. Get taller, Heath. Bring those hips all the way open. All right, reset. Shoulder blades back nice and tight. Lower down to the top of the knee. Lower down to mid shin. Back up to the top of the knee and clean. All right, one more go is what we're going to do. Pull the shoulder blades back nice and tight. Pull that belly button back. Squeeze. Lower down to the top of the knee. Lower down to the mid shin and clean. Excellent. All right, put your pipes or brooms or whatever it is down, shake it out, have a little break. Ah, look at all that midsection movement. Yeah, right on. All right, we're going to look now that we've got the clean going. Exercise is hard. Yeah. It's a house exercise. All right, we're going to look at jerks. Yeah. So we could spend a whole section on just cleans and a whole hour on just jerks. And I'm sure over the course of lockdown, we'll do that. But I thought it would be nice if we got a little bit of both in tonight. So we're going to start by looking at the front rack SOTS press. Grab your bar. Yeah, well done. Cacking up water over here. Fortunately, they can hear you actually. So. I'll try to stop. All right, with the elbows up into the clean position, Heath is going to lower down into his front squat. And from here, we're going to just press up and overhead. Bring those elbows through. So the shoulders and the wrists are still above the ankles. Come back down. Nope, just bring it. Oh, okay. Press for 3. So the goal is to keep that bar going straight up, the back nice and strong, and overhead. So coming down into your front rack position, keeping those elbows up nice and high, driving them up as much as you can. We're going to press up and overhead. Bring the head through at the top. And back down. For 3. Good. Stand it up. Come back out of it. Shake it out. If you're not able to get that straight up and overhead, it's all good. We're going to get there with time. All right. That gives me an idea of where people are at. Not that we're loading weight, but it will help with knowing what progressions we want to go through on the push jerk, the power jerk, and into the split jerk. Luke, Rich, Neil, Izzy, Kimberly, you all split jerk, yes? Sophie, have you split jerk before? All right. Lucy, have we done split jerk or just push jerk? Okay, right on. That's all right. What we're going to start with is standing up nice and tall. Your feet are just where you are. Your feet should be underneath your hips. We're going to come up into our front rack position, which is like landing in the clean, but not as extreme. So your elbows don't need to be at 90 degrees, but they do need to be in front of the bar. So we're aiming for at least 45 degrees up. From here, we're going to start with just a push press, which means we're going to bend at the knees and bend at the hips and use our legs to push that bar up and overhead. Can you get the broomstick to your shoulders? There we go. That's what we need. So if your broomstick isn't resting on your shoulders or the barbell isn't resting on your shoulders, then your arms are doing all the work. So the goal is for it to sit on your shoulders so that your legs are what's driving that bar up and overhead. So we're going to start with 5 push press. Make sure that those shoulders are dipping straight down and not forward so that that weight is staying over the feet. All right. All right, so we're going to look at the tall jerk. So you're doing a push press, and the idea is the weight has gotten so heavy that your legs have pushed it up, as high as it can go, which is just to like the top of the forehead. Don't use your legs. So the weight's so heavy, that's all the taller it's gotten. So now we have to drop underneath it without moving the feet. Just drop straight down. So the difference between a push jerk and a power jerk is the foot movement. So we're going to start with a push jerk, which means we're push pressing. But then we're going to come up to the top of the head at full extension. Your hips should be open. Oh, sorry. Chewy, come on. Chewy. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. Sorry about that. All right. What we're looking for is to make sure that we get full extension out of the legs and the hips before the arms ever start pressing. So you push down, dip down, everything's nice and tall. Then the arms are just following the bar up. It's as far as it can go, and you drop underneath without moving the feet to catch it. Does that make sense? Yeah? So going nice and slow. Get up into your start position with your elbows up. The start of your push press position. We're going to walk through this really slow. So dip the knees and bend the hips. Slowly stand to full extension. Now, as if that bar is flying up off the shoulders, you're going to slowly raise it up to the top of the head, just the top of the head. And from there, without moving your feet, you're just going to drop underneath and catch it with stretched out arms. Then you're going to stand it up. We're going to go through that a couple of times really slow. All right. So back into your push press start position. We're going to dip down with the knees and the hips. We're going to stand up tall. We're going to slowly lift to the top of the head and then drop underneath that bar and catch it with fully stretched out arms and stand it up. Okay, we're going to slowly start to speed that up. So this time, get back up in that start position. You're going to dip down and drive up. As soon as your hips are fully open, you're going to lift up to the top of the head and drop. And stand it up. Good. And again, just a little quicker. Back, nope, start position. There we go. Drop down, stand up, top of the head, and drop. Good. And reset. Now the reminder that I'm sure none of you need, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Screw those feet into the ground. Turn those thighs on. Squeeze the bum. Pull the belly button back toward the spine. Bring those elbows up and make a really big chest. The bigger platform for the chest, the more you can breathe. And the more power your legs are going to transfer into that barbell to get it up as tight as you can, giving you plenty of time to get underneath that bar. So from this position, you're going to dip down, drive overhead, and push jerk. Good. And again, turning everything on nice and tight. Okay, now for full speed. Make sure those hips open before you drop down underneath that bar. Nice, Kimberly. Good, Sophie. Good. Lock those arms out, Lucy. Don't let them be soft when you land. Okay, because think you got 100 kilos on that bar. You don't want your elbows holding it. So lock those arms out so they're nice and tight. Good. We're going to drill this like the Dickens, because at the weightlifting competition, this is where we were missing out. People weren't confident with dropping under that bar. So we're going to be having lots of fun with this over the lockdown. And if that didn't chase you all off, I don't know what will. All right, so back up into your start position. At full speed now, again, 3 push jerks. Really focus on locking out nice and strong in that receipt position before you stand it up. Yeah. Nice. All right. Okay, we're going to move on to the, oh, nope, we got one more going. Oh, you rushed it. Crushed it. All right, we're going to move into the power jerk. So now you get to move your feet a little bit. And for some of you that are struggling to get under that bar without moving your feet, this should help a little bit. You're not lifting your feet up and jumping out crazy wide. You're sliding your feet out just to allow you a little more depth. So your feet are going from this, let me see if I can get this to, yeah. So your feet are going from this position, push jerk and slide them out. Just slightly outside and wider. So you're going from where you're at to just outside. One more time. So it's not a huge movement of the feet, but it's enough to allow your hips to drop down so that, as if you have 100 kilos on that bar and you have to drop down pretty low. There we go. Which may be as low as he can push jerk. I'm not sure. Does this difference make sense to people? Do you understand the difference between a push jerk and the power jerk? Was that a no, Lucy? Yeah, that was a no. Thumbs up. All right. Good deal. All right, so we're going to do a power jerk now. So we're going to come straight back up and do what we did before. So in your start position, turning everything on nice and tight so you have that super strong power base underneath the bar. You're going to slowly dip down, drive up to full extension, press up to just the top of the head, and now slide your feet out and drop underneath that bar, like in slow motion. I want you to do that 2 more times, and then we're going to shake out and go full speed. The slow motion should be somewhat exhausting because you've got everything on nice and tight for a long period of time. Good. It's a little tricky to tell with the camera positioning. But the other thing about this is make sure that you're looking straight ahead. Yeah, don't look down, don't look up. Be looking at a target on the wall straight opposite you so that that bar stays in a nice solid place and your spine is neutral as you're going through this because you're about to put a lot of load overhead. Yeah? All right, we're going to speed that up now. So we're going to get into the start position. All right, and you're going to push jerk. Go. Once you land in that receipt position, check your feet, stand it up. Bring the feet underneath you, nice and strong. Finish your jerk and reset. So show them the finish. Stand it up, put your feet back underneath you, and then bring it down. So do the whole thing. There you go. And reset. All right. So turn everything on nice and tight. Feet screwed in, thighs screwed in, bum tight, belly button back, big chest. Push those elbows out. Bring that bar up into your front rack position. If you can, let it rest on the shoulders and push jerk, or sorry, power jerk. Good. Finish it out by bringing your feet back into your start position before you lower the bar. Then you're going to lower it back down and start again. Turning everything on. Come back up into your front rack position and power jerk. Nice, Lucy. Good and strong. Good. Finish it up. Reset. One last time on these. Nice and tight, big and strong. Power jerk. Good. Reset and bring it down. All right. That is actually our hour up. Oh, not bad. That went fast. Well, it went fast to me. It may not have felt fast to you. I need to see, and please be honest. Is this good? Does this work for you guys? Yeah? The streaming's a little better. You can turn your microphones back on if you want. I don't know how to do that.
That was great, Eddie. Thank you.
Yeah, it worked good.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
No, this is great.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
It's good. Thank you.
Okay. It's a little tricky with the cameras, but from what I can see, it looked like there was good movement. Neil, I can only see your upper body. I don't know what kind of room you're in. If you can get hips and knees in, that's great. If not, we'll just keep going as it is. And next week, we're going to work on the snatch. Yeah. And then we're just going to keep going back and through with different tech work. And then we'll be adding in, like, honestly, guys, I meant to do some stretching and some accessory work tonight, and we just completely ran out of time. So I will know that I'll know better what we're doing, but we'll keep going. And this work really is valuable. I think it's one of the best things that you can do is unload and just drill the technique. So if you've got the patience for it, I love seeing your faces, so I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for doing it, Ellie.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Thank you.
All right, guys, have a good evening.
You too. Bye.